Welcome everybody to the fourth episode of the BHS Podcast. Um, yeah, this episode is probably gonna be a shorter one. Don't have a lot to say, more so just talking about our not recent visit or stuff that just happened, craziness that happened in the past week.
It has been.
Yeah,
Listen, do you want us to like run into it? Just start talking about that.
yeah, we can.
All right.
More so just I had influx of heart rate from last Monday or the following Monday. It was 2 Mondays ago now. And then all of a sudden, it kept messing up, and then debating on going to the doctor, thinking it's COVID, doing all this stuff, and finally I decided, all right, I think I'm gonna go to the doctor the next day. I decided I would go to ER that night, and then all of a sudden I have my heart rate go straight up to 159, 150 something, very high, and I felt white, and I felt like I was about to pass out. I had to control my breathing, and yeah, and then I called Paul to come over and take me to the hospital. But yeah, it was a crazy moment. It was like something surreal, something that I won't forget. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do this again. So
Yeah. So I know for me personally, I was like, I was over, like somewhere else, and when Poe called me, I was like, oh shit, I'm going now. So and then you would call me like just as I was like getting out like into the car,
yeah,
and that was easily the 15 20 minutes whatever it was getting out there was like some of the longest I've ever like each minute was like felt like 10
yeah,
at that point.
yeah. For me, it felt like 10 too. So like I was just like trying to keep based on like get checkpoints of like where you were and like kind of where everything was kind of going. So like I was just like trying to figure out like what was happening. Like I was just trying to breathe more so, just trying to slow breathe because I didn't know like I don't know. I just felt like I just couldn't breathe for a bit. It was felt like it was just my throat was clogging up. I felt like my breathing was very rapid and stuff like that. So I was just it was very like trying. It was very scary for a bit. So
I believe it.
yeah. Now I
And
got to deal with a lot of doctors visit now. So
yeah.
what's up?
And oh no, I was just gonna say like, and then what being in the weight room for like that long too, which is like that in itself. I was like, all right, when is this doctor gonna come in? Because like at first it was just they had you doing tests
Yeah.
for a minute.
I'm not gonna lie. When I got to the hospital, it didn't seem that long. So like after I got to the hospital, it didn't seem that long of a wait. I don't know. I felt like they got me quickly. For me, I don't know. That's just how I felt. I was trying to try distract myself on my phone before it died, and
Mm,
then not really died, but kind of like when it was getting dying.
yeah,
But I was like, I felt like they called me in for like the check in, and then they got me back there pretty quickly, and then they did some tests. They said everything was normal, which was weird because I didn't feel normal, and then right now still really don't feel normal in a sense. I feel better, but
mm,
I don't know. I think it's more so mental stuff now. It's a mental roadblock I have to like kind of get over now and kind of like do it. I think once I start like getting back into normal routine, aka running, and then getting some more blood run to the heart,
yeah.
hopefully that would. I hope it doesn't make it worse, but I'm just thinking like being able to run again and kind of like doing that is kind of would be huge shift in how it works. So
Mm. And I know another thing too, because like was like the next day when you still felt bad. I was like, okay, what? Like, I thought you were gonna be in the hospital for like the next week.
I thought I was gonna be in there for at least a few days. They sent me back home both days. So, um, but no, it was I don't know, like it was very weird because like I was like, all right, I'm gonna be there chilling, and I was like, and then I thought you would gonna be, I thought you was gonna be at home or be here, working from home, but I think you left and went to other place, and then I was like, I just don't feel well again. Like my resting heart rate, me sitting on the couch back there, was like 100, 120. I was like, I just don't feel good at all. So I was just like, I need to leave. So I will. So I was like, we got to go back. So we went back that morning. We did it all over again. They gave me anxiety medication. They say it's stress or something like that. So if stress can do that, then that was a killer. It was killer
Yeah.
stress for sure.
I mean, I know some of my bosses like they had to deal with like it was more or less stress caused exhaustion or stress caused like indigestion.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen stress have that kind of reaction before.
Yeah, I don't know. I just started freaking. I guess I just started freaking out because like it was right after I got off the phone with my mom. I was like trying to debate to go to ER if the ER is worth it because how much it costs, all the stuff like that, and some other things that was happening. I started getting like kind of worked up, and then as soon as I got off phone, I sat down right here
Mm.
and I looked at I looked at the my third monitor to my right, and it was like a white light, and I just felt like something just grabbed me by my throat and was just like holding it, and it was like hard to breathe. And then when I stood up, my body started moving like in slow motion,
Ah.
like I was on drugs or something like that. And I was like, this is not good. So I was like, I was started moving very, very slow. I was like, I don't want to pass out in the house. So I was like, I need to get to like, I felt like kind of drunk, kind of in a different world right then. It was just that. And I was trying like to calm myself down to get myself at ease, but I just couldn't get myself calm for some reason. I tried everything to like get myself calm. So
Mm.
it could have been like a panic attack at that point. Which I've never had a panic attack that severe. Probably I think maybe once before, but like I never had one that severe like that because like I never passed out. I never did anything like that. It was more so just a it was just more so just a freak out moment. Yeah, it was just kind of a scary thing. Been doing a lot of like tests. Everybody said I'm fine. They finally got to do actual work at the work. So kind of like
Was it? Was this your first day back?
no,
Oh, okay.
I've been back. I went on Monday, but I was like mainly in the office area trying to like do stuff, and then but yesterday was the day that I or today was the day I started working like more so
Mm.
than my normal stuff like receiving stuff and doing stuff in the warehouse more so than just in the back.
Got you.
So it was good, but like I said, it's just been a roller coaster of a time that's kind of like going. So um yeah, I don't know where like I said, I don't know where it struck at or anything like that. Um, like backtracking, I've just felt like shortness of breath and stuff like that. But I was running, so that was a big thing.
Mm.
Was the fact that I was running a lot. So I was just like, why am I shortness of breath doing these activities? And I was like, that's not normal. So I didn't think nothing of it. So I just kept ignoring it. So and I thought it was COVID, and then it wasn't COVID. So
Yeah, I think the most like some of the most surprising parts was just like that it lasted. Because like usually when like I think of stress like goes up and down
yeah,
depending on how you feel. It was just weird that it just lasted for like 2 weeks straight.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like I really just don't know like how it was. It could just been like I said, I'm pretty sure like me looking at my watch because my watch was telling me like my heart rate was at an 80, it then jump up to a 120 when I stand up, and it was just like kind of bouncing back and forth, and I was just like trying to figure out like what why was it causing that? Like I don't remember me having that kind of issue before. Why this? Why does it get that way and stuff like that? So
Mm.
yeah, like right now I feel like I don't know. I've been drinking a lot of water, but I still feel like dehydrated. I don't know. Still been drinking a lot of water, but It has been kind of a. I just felt like I haven't drank no water sometimes, but I've been trying to drink some here and there a lot. So
Got you.
yeah, so it's been a crazy, crazy week for that. It's been a crazy time for probably both of us. Kind of basically dragged Paul along with it because he basically had to be the person who was driving me to the thing, and I was I was trying my best to. I never really had to like manually breathe. Have you ever had to like manually breathe?
Manual? Nah.
Like
Not that I
had,
know, but not that comes to mind. No.
yeah, I had to like focus. Like I literally had to focus on breathing. Like that was the thing. I just had to like make sure it was like a focus thing on that. So yeah, have you? I know we went through all that. So what's like the like since we're on this topic kind of thing? What's like your most traumatic experience that you've ever had? Like something like similar, well not similar, but like just in general.
Um, I would say when I was like not 8, 9 years old, something like that. I like for some reason I just like got these like piercing headaches. Um, and for like a week, I would wake up and I would not be feeling good. I'd be drinking water. I would like take pain medication. I mean, what you can when you're 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Um, and I would like wake up with like like at 3 o'clock in the morning with like these piercing headaches. So went to the pediatrician. They were like, something's going on. Um, I don't exactly remember what they said, but I know they had me go to uh neurologist at UNC to do some tests, and for like for a little bit they were just kind of more or less kind of monitoring brain waves, like seeing things. They didn't do like any like surgery or anything like that. But I think they just kind of told my family just one was like stop drinking soda, stop your sugar intake for a while, and like slow that down and like change eating habits as well. Something that they had told me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. It's like I haven't drank really a lot of like coffee and stuff like that, so I'm yawning a lot too. So I've been doing pretty much a lot of that. So I got some food from a place a little bit more better. It's hard to like kind of like do that still with all like these appointments and stuff like that too to kind of like get it because I've been having back to back appointments more so. I'm
Mm.
ready to get to the weekend so I can like chill and relax for the weekend, and then kind of relax because trying to make it to at least like the week just to like relax this weekend because I'm not gonna do anything.
Mm.
I'll be chilling here. Probably do some cleaning. Probably do some stuff around the house, but probably won't leave trying
Got
to
you.
trying to relax, trying to get some relaxation for a bit. Hopefully this weekend's a more relaxing than last
And
week.
then last week,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even remember kind of like last week. I just remember I don't remember what I did during the weekend. I think I played the game for a little bit, but other than that, I think maybe I slept. Trying to like keep monitor of everything. So hopefully this week is a little bit better.
I know for that that Wednesday night, I was like, cause I had to take Jackie to the airport, so I was
Yeah.
like passed out in bed, and like I was just waking up when you would call me, and I was like, oh shit.
Glad you answered it because I didn't. Like I said, I was struggling. It was it was a struggle moment for me to like kind of like I was sitting on the couch. I was trying. I woke up. I felt like it was all right, and then all of a sudden I just felt like I just couldn't control it again. I was like, why can't I control this like heart rate at a point of being normal for the most part without me like having no problems or anything like that. So I was just like figure out something with that. So yeah, I hope like I said, we're still on the recovery phase of this thing, so it's not
Mm,
really like nothing else I can really do with that. So trying to figure that out. I'm not looking forward. Hopefully, the hospital bills, hopefully my insurance is doing pretty well. So I'm not ready for a lot of these fees and all that stuff because a lot of stuff is happening.
yeah.
That was the main reason I didn't want to go to the hospital in general was because of the fees and all that. Then
Hmm.
I got all these. I had to keep going. I think most of my stuff is paid through my insurance, so which is good. So
No, that's good. I mean, the main thing probably would just be the that ER bill like might be a little bit. It
yeah,
might be a little bit high, but I mean everything else, so like the other visits
yeah,
should be fine.
yeah. I think the other visit, fine. The ER visit is the one that I'm mainly worried about with that. So
Yeah.
it was,
I mean, typically, like insurance will cover like a portion of the like the emergency expense.
yeah,
I just don't think it's like a lot though.
yeah,
It's the main thing.
yeah. Like I said, I don't. When I ever get that bill, I'll get it, put it to the side, probably.
Mm,
And it's just more so just like how healthcare is in like the U.S. and stuff like that. It's like if somebody's dying, they don't have the money. I guess you don't pay it, but still, it's just like you need treatment and stuff like that. So that's
See, and that's the thing that I'm always amazed about, like kind of curious about, is people like, let's say take Canada for instance,
mm,
like they never had to worry about that, like that, because that's something we argued about for as a nation for decades. It's like health, what's the cost of health insurance? Should we have Medicaid? Should we have Medicare?
yeah,
All these X and O's things, and there's some countries that are just like, no, you should be covered by like you shouldn't pay anything for health cover like
yeah.
for health insurance.
I think it should be. And like I said, like with anything, like people can't control them getting sick or everything. It's just like these big companies. It's um like the medication or like the pharmaceutical thing. It's like they rack up the price so much and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
all these big businesses type of thing. It's kind of like a. It's kind of why the reason why everything is like it is. The greed of the country and stuff like that, trying to get as much money and stuff like that. So, but
and that's like, but I mean, my thing too is that like people on both sides will be like, it will be chaos
yeah,
if we had this. I'm like,
I
but
don't.
these other places are doing fine.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't want to, especially if like there's a benefit for like the whole country and stuff like that. Like kind of like why not in a sense. I just think more so it goes back to greed because like I think all the politicians and stuff like that have money in these like medical stuff, and if it happens like that, then I believe they lose money at that point. So, but once they lose money, that's when they try to fight against it and stuff like that. And I know like they lobby the medical, like I know the pharmaceutical thing, they lobby for like stuff like that to make sure people so they can keep their stuff. So
Yeah. And I mean, my thing too, cause we can really go down a rabbit hole with this, cause like between that, you got farm like you just said pharmaceutical reps
mm,
who could say like, oh well, like we want you to push XYZ on people who have whose blood pressure is high, for
yeah,
instance, and doctor gets a little something, pharmaceutical gets a little something, and the person just might have to pay $30 more or something. It's a bigger bill than what we're used to.
yeah, and yeah, it's kind of it's rough because like here's the thing about the U.S. and more so is if we had the resources, which we do, we don't use it correctly because they use it for greed. More so, we can turn this whole topic from the pharmaceutical to homeless and stuff like that. There's so many like empty housing or empty spots or places that probably we can probably house everyone in the U.S. I'm pretty sure we could. But there's the pretty much the greed of landlords and things like that that they need to make their money, so that's why they kind of like rack up price, the housing market, and everything like that too. So
And I mean, the thing about in Raleigh is definitely there are places that are that were $800, $900 a
yeah,
month, right? They either either you raise that up several $100s uh, to be able to break even, or you could or that place will get closed down, and then some $2,000 spot will open up, and it's definitely been an issue in Raleigh.
yeah.
I know for that for a fact.
It's like more so the growth of it too. So like the growth around here, is more so that with all like stuff coming around was like
Especially with is it Google or
I think it's Google.
I think Google's coming in like a few years.
Yeah, I think it's Google, and like stuff like that. Like it's a lot of things that's happening. It's growing over here, so it's kind of like a big thing with that. But and they trying to get more people in there, like more livelihood and stuff like that. People who have all these big paying jobs, but it's hard to everywhere really. It's hard to the cost of living is very hard, mainly because of the market and stuff like that. But
Yeah, but I mean, my thing too, just focusing on homelessness is just for my organization. Like, we'll get grants from the county, we get grants from the city, from other organizations as well, and they say, okay, well, you need to spend such and such money on these certain things here,
yeah,
and sometimes we're like, well, we want to pull from to help somebody get their GED, for instance,
yeah,
or CNA license or something like that. But because there's just this money spent for these certain things, it's hard to be able to navigate that field as well. And I mean, also too, you got a bunch of places that are just 70%, 80% grant uh, focus,
yeah.
that you got all these agencies trying to get that grant money,
True.
and like it's a very competitive field as well. It's just it seems to go away from focusing on the root issue and cause of somebody not having a home.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if either they group up together or like they stop competing because like why are you competing? Try to be like the I guess like they're getting money so they can get paid and stuff like that. Like the people like they get paid. It's a business, so they get paid some way somehow from getting the grants and stuff like that. I'm assuming. So like it's a way to get their money up too. But like if that wasn't the case, then everybody would be working together to try to get use those grants for everyone. So
Yeah,
it's kind of rough to kind of like try to figure it out because like if we had the answers, it would be easy going. We can kind of like make it a better world, but it's kind of hard because like these like different loopholes or like these different loops that you have to get through. So
yeah. But I mean, we can but the thing is that we can work together.
mm,
It's just like for not wanting to name
yeah, I wouldn't
call
name
people
it.
out, but
Yeah,
if organization A and B,
yeah,
um if they reach out to each other, they can talk to each other about uh being able to say, okay, well, we had to track these certain things here about who gets the funding, who gets the training, or who gets these services. And so you kind of have to say, all right, we're gonna do we gotta track this on this our side, we gotta track this on our side, so that way you can refer people to throughout these agencies. But
yeah.
you have to be very particular in how you move forward in that field.
Yeah, I just more so just don't think no one should be living on the streets or anything like that. Like there should be like an option where like somebody at least has housing. It like decent housing. Like it doesn't have to be like the best of the best, but it can be like something that has like heat, something the base necessities, and then kind of like get your essential needs and stuff like that, but not cost an arm and a leg too.
But
That's,
but yeah, but like that's called the housing first model,
Mm,
and that's what my organization does is have the housing first. The main thing is that let's say somebody has a federal charge
mm,
and they're not like they can't find so like employment, or if there's a single parent household with three children, let's say, if they don't have any support and they get made 18 $20 an hour in this market, that's hard. Like even single is hard,
yeah.
and then but it's like but being able to find that support as well. So it's just like we have there are programs like that. It's just how do you man like even child like I know some people who aren't working uh just because they did their budget and they said, well, like we save money not having to spend money on child care.
Yeah. And that's a rough part, especially like if you have it accidentally and you don't want to get rid of it or anything like that. Kind of like hard to like like because children are expensive. Like not even talking about like toys and stuff like that. Just feeding them are going to be rough. So like that and school and everything like that. There's a lot of like stuff that you have to pay for, and it's and you can say get an abortion, you can say do all these things, but at the end of the day, it's still like tough with that too. So
Yeah, because I mean, my thing too is just if even if you had like you could be married and have two kids
mm,
and get like have we just saw it, like the tech layoffs.
mm,
Like you be like laid off from your job, like that can cause issues, fight over money.
yeah,
One person leaves, like somebody else is gonna be left to take over the kids.
yeah,
So it's one of those like one after like one domino after another falls, and it's just like how do you like I know, and it's just how you navigate the system
and a
and
lot.
not depend on it either.
Yeah, some people like they use the system, like you said, depending, but also too they more so they some people know how to beat the system, which is kind of rough on the people who really needs it. Some people like knows how to like maneuver or kind of like change numbers and do all this shady stuff to kind of like do that. And I know that's what the process is trying to figure out the right people, but some people know how to beat the system of doing that too.
Yeah, and I mean it's and the thing about the how I feel about that, because I see that a lot at my job, is just I know people who been homeless 10 plus years, and they've done exactly that. Um, but whether it's tired of being tired or finally being willing to take those steps forward and grow and learn that like sometimes like you can be doing that for 10 odd years,
Yeah,
but it's that 11 like all it takes is that 11th year, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can do these things, or I need to take responsibility, or being able to like not depend or not play what's going on in this in the community.
yeah, yeah. That's what I said. It's kind of rough because I know when I grow up, I was like more so I had to like get we had to like go to like um get church food and stuff like that, and then like get like stuff like pantry stuff, like kind of like get the free stuff and things like that. And my mom was a teacher, so like it's kind of like so there's a lot of things. It's like teachers not getting paid what they need to get paid. It's like there's a lot of things in the world that's or mainly U.S. So not a lot of things in the world too, but like mainly
Yeah,
just sticking with the U.S. We can go world and go a whole different route, but like just the U.S. in general, it's just a lot of things. That's like trying to figure out what it is, and we can't like we won't ever get on the same page because we always want to fight against each other with stuff. So that's why I see a lot of things with that. It's like we can't even if it seems like common sense to be a good thing to do it, somebody's gonna disagree and say it's bad or it's not benefiting them. So like it's kind of like a
Yeah,
rough situation we're in with that. So
yeah. And I mean, it's one like yeah, because I mean, it's one of those things where like, I love my organization. I've been there just under a year,
yeah,
uh, and we do what we can. I see that day in and day out. It's just sometimes it's just we're not gonna work. Like we're not gonna be 100% for everybody. Like sometimes
yeah,
people need like other things as well.
yeah. Some people need more attention or more resources or more love in a sense. And in that sense,
Yeah,
way I'm looking at it, it's like a child or stuff like that. Sometimes you're a parent or something like that, you can have that um, love or something like that for it. So
yeah,
yeah, so it's kind of rough thing, kind of like a sad episode or sad little talk more so. It's like kind of like going realizing real world stuff and also just me almost trying to survive where it
yeah.
is.
I
So
mean, you just staying alive. To be honest,
I mean,
shit.
I am. I'm just trying to make it to the next day at that point. But
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I think we have said it before in our intro. It's just like we'll talk about uh we just kind of talk what's on our minds, what's on our hearts,
yeah, events that
and
happen.
I mean I mean we'll talk about a lot of stuff. I mean like I knew we were gonna talk about like what had happened this past week, but like this is just us. Like there's no script or anything
Yeah,
like that.
we didn't really come. We just talked mainly. We just said like, yeah, we're gonna talk about what happened. After that, we had nothing else. So like it was just like nothing going on. It's just like kind of just going with what I kind of what I be feeling and kind of like what I'm transitioning to and kind of going from there. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
a free for all. Sometimes you can get like stale, not stale, but get in like a stall type thing where like you're like I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but we can kind of get there. And then once we get to one topic, you can kind of like relate another topic to another topic,
yeah,
and then things like that too. So yeah, it's kind of like I said, this one was gonna be short. Like I said, we've been busy with a lot of stuff, mainly dealing with me more so. So but yeah, like I said, this one was a shorter one. I really appreciate everyone for listening. I appreciate everyone for like seeing how we go, seeing how this journey is, and then like I said, next one probably live it up a little bit more with a little bit more stuff. Hopefully,
we'll be happier too.
hopefully I'm still alive. Um, we'll see. We'll see the progress. We never know. In 2 weeks, I didn't know this was going to happen. So two
Facts.
more weeks, we don't know what's going to happen after that. So hopefully, like I'm back, like a normal state. I feel like I feel normal now, but I feel like a more normal state that I can kind of like be ready and just running up and down and doing all that stuff. But until next time, hope all y'all have a great week. Um, enjoy yourself, be safe, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.
All right.